Hi, and welcome back to Lisa's Stamp Studio. I've got a card layout for you today that's very unique and very simple. And it's a great way to use up those designer series paper scraps. Here's a quick look at the card we're going to be creating together today. A card layout is a great way to get started on designing a card. It provides a map for where the pieces go on your cardstock. But I have two other samples to share with you during today's video. I have a free downloadable template for today's layout over on my website. If you click down in the video description below and scroll down about halfway, you'll find the link there for you. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. Click the subscribe button down below and make sure you click that bell icon. That will send you notifications when I'm live right here on YouTube, as well as when I share a new video. Let's head over to the stamp table and let's get started on today's card. Let's start by working on that poinsettia that's going to go on the front of our card. I'm using the Poinsettia Petals Bundle, which is the stamp set and the coordinating poinsettia dies. Absolutely beautiful. Lots of things you can create with this year for the holiday season. In addition, this stamp set includes beautiful greetings. The designer series paper that I'm going to be using coordinates with that stamp set, so I'm going to be mimicking those colors with my ink pads. This is one thing I love about the Stampin' Up! Products is the color coordination. I'm going to start by protecting my work surface with one of the small grid papers because we're going to be doing a little bit of stamping off, which is a way to use an ink pad to create a lighter shade. I'm going to start with the soft suede for the outline of my poinsettia, which I have here. Now the great thing about this stamp set is you're going to see that it comes in varied sizes. I also want to provide you with a tip about this stamp set. The flowers are not symmetrical, which means the petals are not all the same size. And I found it a little bit cumbersome when I stamped the second layer on top of this. So what I did is I decided to mark it. I'm going to peel back the stamp here, and you're going to see that I placed a very small black dot here at the top of my stamp to indicate the top. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink that up in the soft suede, and I'm going to stamp off a layer of ink here on my scratch paper. That now has reduced the shade, and I'm going to stamp one of the flowers here. I did the exact same thing one more time and stamped it off, and I stamped a second flower here. Now I was careful to make sure that the dot that I placed was here at the top so that I'm able to align the second layer. There's a corresponding stamp in the stamp set that actually provides a little bit of color to your petals. And of course you can make your poinsettia any color that you like. Again, I've done the exact same thing. I've peeled this back and I've placed a small point to indicate the perfect alignment for this stamp over the bottom one. I'll be using the So Saffron ink for this, and I'm going to turn that scratch paper because I don't want to pick up any of this pigmentation when I fill these flowers. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp off again because I want to reduce that shade. With that point or that dot here at the top, just as it is here, I'll go ahead and I'll fill this. I'll repeat that process now on the second flower. Now there's a die that's going to cut this, but I'm going to set this aside for just a moment. And while I have my ink pad out, I'm going to bring in a small piece of Whisper White cardstock. You're going to find all the cutting dimensions down the link of this video description below. From that same stamp set, I've pulled out one of the greetings, and this time I'm not going to stamp off. I'm going to stamp this full strength, so it's a little bit darker than the rest of my card, and I'll stamp that here. I'm going to place the greeting off to the side for just a moment, and I'm going to bring in those coordinating dies. And this is the perfect time to use that brand new die cutting machine called the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I love the machine because it's very lightweight compared to other machines. And I love that these platforms snap up for storage to make this machine a lot more condensed. I'm going to open up the platforms and we're going to create the sandwich that we need to die cut this flower. One of the great things about the machine is that the plates are all numbered for you and there's directions printed right on top of here making it easy for you. So we're going to be using a thin die, so we're going to need platform number 1 on the bottom. And since we're using a thin die, we're also going to need platform number 2, which is indicated here. That's going to go on top. You'll also need platform number 3, which is your clear cutting mat to protect that bottom. Then we'll align the cardstock and our flower. Once you have this aligned where you'd like it, you can place the other clear mat on the top, but I want to give you a tip. Oftentimes you might find that these slip and slide a little bit inside your die cutting machine. You can use a post-it note flag, a small piece of washi tape, but I love to use low tack painter's tape. I also make sure that I manhandle this just a little bit to break down some of the tackiness, because I notice when it goes through the compression of the rollers in my die cutting machine that it's still going to have a tendency to rip the paper. So I'll go ahead and I'll just align that where I want it, and I'll tack that down. We'll place that other number 3 platform over the top, align those plates, and then just crank this through. And once it's die cut, I just peel from the back forward, just very carefully removing that tape, preserving the image the very best that I can. I do save the tape here on my machine so that I can reuse it, and then you'll have your beautiful die cut image. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is available in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, and you'll be able to find it on my website. Part of the die set was one of these beautiful sprigs, and I decided to take a scrap of Para Pizzazz cardstock, and I die cut that as well. And I did that just ahead of you joining me, which I have here. I'm going to protect my work surface once again because I decided I wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to these flowers. And I'm going to be using the Champagne Mist Shimmer Paint. The easiest way to use this is to give the bottle a shake. There's a small ball inside that's going to mix up the paint for you. Once it's been shook, go ahead and unscrew the cap. The amount of paint that's left inside the cap is perfect for your projects. My favorite way to apply this is with a sponge dauber. Your finger goes up inside, which makes it very easy to use and control. And I dedicate this one specifically for the shimmer paint so that I can reuse it over and over again. I'm going to dip my dauber inside the cap, and I'm going to tap some of that off because I want to be able to control that coverage. And then you're just going to swipe over the petals. And I'm going to do this now on both of my die cut flowers. You'll give that just a few minutes to dry, and then you'll have beautiful shimmery leaves. We're going to start assembling the card now, and this is So Saffron cardstock, and I did score it in half right before you joined me. Again, that color coordination makes this very easy to design and create. I'm using the bone folder to create that nice crisp edge. Now, since I'm going to be using some adhesive, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my silicone craft sheet. Adhesive, liquid glue, and hot glue will not stick to it, which means I'm going to keep my work surface sticky free. I've cut several strips of Designer Series paper. This comes from the Poinsettia Petals Designer Series paper package. You're going to need 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 4 1/4 and 2 pieces that are 1 inch by 3 inch. And then we're going to create a grid around the perimeter of this card. I'm going to start with one of my long pieces first, and then I'll use my Stampin' Seal Plus on the wrong side. Since this one has a slight pattern, I'm going to make sure that I manipulate the Designer Series paper to face in the direction that I like best. And then I'm going to align this here near the top of the cardstock, leaving a small border at the top and on the right-hand side. And then once I'm happy with the placement, we can go ahead and tack that down. We're next going to work with one of the smaller pieces. And I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to add adhesive to the wrong side. This time, the small piece is going to go here on the left side. I like to turn it to make it easier for my hand because I'm looking to make sure that this outside perimeter is well aligned. So I'm going to look here on the edge, looking to gauge about the same amount of space here as I have at the top of my card. And then once I'm satisfied, I'll go ahead and tack that in place. We're going to use the next long piece, and we're going to fill in this area. So I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to add adhesive to the back side. Again, checking the pattern or the direction of my paper, I'm going to place this piece here at the bottom. Again, looking to align the outside edge the very best that I can. Finally, we have our last 3-inch strip, and I'll add adhesive, and I'm going to fill this one now in on the right-hand side. I like to turn this again to make sure that I can see if my edges are even. And then once we're satisfied, we'll go ahead and tack that in place. That's going to leave us this beautiful grid all the way around the base of our card. Do you remember the greeting that we stamped? This is going to go here in the middle. So I'm going to flip that over, and I'll add adhesive to the back side. That now will get attached here. Now let's work on the focal point. Now I wanted to add a little bit of curvature to these leaves, so I'm going to use my bone folder one more time. I'm going to brace the center of the flower with my thumb and index finger to protect it from ripping. And I'm just very lightly going to add a little bit of curling to here just to break down the fibers of the paper. I'm aware that my card will go through the mail and that this probably won't look exactly like it is now, but I wanted to show you this because if you're going to be creating a lot of 3D projects for the holidays, this is something that certainly will hold up on perhaps a box, a gift tag, or even a container. These 2 petals now are going to get connected together, and I'm going to use a glue dot for that. So I'm going to reveal one of the glue dots here, and then I'm going to take the back center of my flower, and I'll press it here, and then I'll lift, and that'll remove the glue dot right on top of the flower. And then I'm going to offset these petals to make a fuller bloom. Remember the sprig that we die cut? Well, we're going to go ahead and add one more glue dot to the center back here. And this is where I'm going to attach this. And I'm just looking to put it on an angle. Now the sprig might be quite a bit longer than what you need, so you can just go ahead and use your scissors and just cut off that excess. I'm going to flip that over and I'm going to use a full-size dimensional here on the back side. I'll remove that paper backing with my Take Your Pick tool, which I absolutely love. The putty tip helps me to lift up sequins and small pieces of paper. And the interchangeable tip that I have here is the paper piercing tool attachment, which helps me to remove those paper backings. I'm going to take my flower now and I'm going to position this to make sure that I'm not covering up my words. Also making sure that it fits within the perimeter of my card, and then I'll tack that in place. And I thought the finishing touch was one of these brand new beaded pearls. These are exquisite. They're about 1/2 inch wide, and you can add them on with liquid glue. But for the sake of the video today, I'm going to use a couple glue dots. I find these hold up very, very well. I'm using that Take Your Pick tool once again to cover that area here in the center. We'll go ahead and we'll take our embellishment and just press that right down inside. And there we go. We have this absolutely stunning Christmas card. Now I promised you 2 other cards, and let me share those with you. This one uses a stamp set called Ghoulish Goodies. Fun Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper, just a little bit of coloring for that moon, and I created a tag with the lovely labels punch. That punch is fantastic. It's 6 tag punches in one, and you'll find that in the annual catalog. My final card is a great encouragement card. It could be used for the kids or even for an adult who loves fun and whimsical cards. This beautiful rainbow glimmer paper, I sectioned off to use a specific color scheme and coordinate it with the ink pads in Granny Apple Green. This comes from the stamp set called Hippo Happiness. If you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you are interested in receiving copies of the current catalogs, you can head over to lisasstampstudio.com and click on catalogs to request your copy there. I would love to know which one of these cards is your favorite. Would you leave me a comment below? And while you're there, if you have enjoyed today's video, if you would give it a thumbs up here on YouTube, which is a like, it certainly helps. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.